It's time for the Daedric quest lines, and what better place to start than Ill Met by Moonlight, one of the most broken quests in Skyrim. We're going to start off by visiting Falkreath. There's a lot going on when you first enter the city, what with lost dogs, a dragon spawn nearby, and one thing that kind of goes unnoticed is a funeral going on in the cemetery for a little girl. Mathies the farmer here is the father. He'll often start in the cemetery, but it's not too common that you'll see him in there, just because there's a lot going on and it's a very short funeral. Once the funeral's done, he'll come over here, and it doesn't really matter where you talk to him, as long as you talk to him.
A sad time.
This has got to be the most wild dialogue option ever.
Our little girl.
After rudely asking who died, Mathies will explain that his daughter was attacked and torn apart brutally by Sinding, a laborer who came into Falkreath recently. With no information and no request from Mathies, we get the urge to go meet Sinding and see what the psychopath is all about. Sinding will be located in the Falkreath jail, which is inside the barracks, and you can actually go see him and start the quest by talking to him instead of Mathies, but Mathies gives a little bit of backstory and lore. The prison and jail is where this quest breaks a lot, so if you need to, reload or leave the jail and re-enter if Sinding isn't interacting or he's not there.
I used to be an adventurer like you. And I took an
He said the line. Upon talking to Sinding, he'll further the quest and explain that he stole a ring from the Daedric Prince Hircine, and we can offer to bring it back for him. The ring will be cursed and automatically equipped, making us randomly transform into werewolves if we can, and if we don't have werewolf blood, it'll just take up a ring slot and be kind of useless until the quest is done. How are you talking about armor? Dude, are you seeing this? Be sure to let Sinding leave, as sometimes leaving before he does can break the quest. He'll tell us to go kill a deer, which will summon Hircine, and this is located a short walk outside of Falkreath. If you don't have ranged weapons, I recommend tossing a little shout just to stagger the deer before it can start running away. After killing the deer, Hircine will appear. He'll tell us to chase Sinding and hunt him, and no matter what you say, it doesn't really matter, it'll just push the quest along.
Just one glimpse of the glorious stalker.
Behold, Daedric Dialogue. Unskippable.
Your fealty is precious.
Hircine will direct us to Bloated Man's Grotto, where Sinding is hiding, but recommends getting a move on because other hunters are trying to bring him down for Hircine's glory. I do recommend visiting this grotto before the quest starts, or over a month in game time after the quest is done, as it's a different dungeon and has some different loot inside of it than during this quest. Once inside, we'll find a hunter in the process of dying, as well as two hunters who have already expired.
But more will come. Bring him down for the glories of Lord Hircine.
Excellent. All of these hunters are lootable, and besides them, there's two chests in this opening area that we can check out really quick. One behind the tents, and one in the water. Once you've looted the opening area, you're good to proceed. Sinding will be above us and will initiate dialogue, and this is where you get to choose if you want to side with him and kill the hunters, or hunt Sinding yourself. We're going to start by hunting him.
So be it.
Once you tell him that you plan to kill him, he'll turn around and start running through the dungeon. There will be 8 hunters along the way that he kills as well. Before we see any of them, a boss chest. In this first area, there will be 2 bodies that Sinding leaves behind that are fully lootable, followed by 3 more hunters in the next section, and 3 more in the next. Even though they're named hunters, saving them doesn't do anything, and they have basic dialogue, and they despawn once the quest is over. Once you find Sinding in the final area, he'll turn to fight. Upon killing him, you'll be prompted to search his body, which will pull up an option to tear the skin from him. Hircine will then appear as Sinding in human form, and take the hide, as well as the cursed ring, and give you the Savior's Hide artifact.
Good hunting.
The Savior's Hide gives some magic and poison resistance, and is some light armor. Let's go back and hunt with Sinding. There's a lot of ways to dupe this quest and get both Daedric artifacts at the end, and it's usually easiest when you hunt with Sinding, as opposed to killing him. When you tell him that you'll hunt with him, instead of running ahead, he'll stand by and act as a follower for the rest of the dungeon. Be sure to grab the boss chest, then descend into the first area with 2 hunters. As you can see, Sinding got the Dragon Ball treatment. When he's an enemy, he's extremely powerful. When he's an ally, he doesn't hit too hard. He does knock the enemies around and stun them pretty well, so you can just kind of let him handle one person while you kill the others, and then come over and finish off the opponent that Sinding is on. After the initial 2, there will be 3 in the next area. Calm down, Sinding. Be mindful of hitting Sinding as well, as hitting him too many times will cause him to turn hostile, as if you chose to hunt him in the first place. Once the second group of hunters is down, move forward to the third group, and just be mindful because usually one of these hunters will have an enchanted weapon, which can catch you by surprise. Jesus. Once all the hunters are dead, you'll be prompted to talk to Sinding. But let's try to dupe the Daedric artifacts. One of the easiest ways to do this is walk back to the entrance without talking to Sinding. Once you're there, you're good to talk to him.
I will make my home here, away from anyone I might hurt.
Even though the quest is complete and no reward has been given, go ahead and head outside.
Well met again, Hunter.
Hircine will be waiting for us.
Not a failure.
No matter what you say, he'll congratulate you on hunting the hunters, and remove the ring and replace it with an enchanted one, allowing you to turn into a werewolf multiple times per day.
Were no base prey. You continue to amuse and impress. Go forth.
Once Hircine's done talking, you'll have the ring added, and we're good to go back inside the grotto to get the Savior's Hide. Sinding doesn't really contribute much to the game once this quest is done, so we're going to put him out of his misery, and get the hide at the same time. When killing Sinding, the prompt for skinning him will show up, and Hircine will spawn as if we had originally chosen to hunt Sinding. Going through the dialogue, Hircine will take the skin from us and give the Savior's Hide armor. With that, we have both the Ring of Hircine and the Savior's Hide at the same time. These both count as Daedric artifacts, so for the Oblivion Walker quest, you can actually skip one Daedric artifact if it gets broken or you don't want to do it, and use these two here. With that, Ill Met by Moonlight is completed.